Hi there, I'm James Dapperchi, and this is Coffee and a Case Note. Team, today we are going to have a chat about a derivative action, a liquidation, an appeal, and a cross appeal, and we're going to start off a little bit confused, but by the end it's all going to make sense, I promise. So we have this mining company. The mining company has two directors and two shareholders, and those directors and the shareholders are the same person, so two natural people. Now those two natural people have a falling out, and as a result of that falling out, a winding up order is made on the just and equitable grounds in the Corporations Act, so liquidators are appointed to wind up the company. All right. Before that happened, one shareholder director applied to the court to seek leave to bring a derivative action on behalf of the company, to stand in the company's shoes, to sue the other shareholder and entities related to that shareholder. And essentially what the first shareholder was concerned about was revenue from a couple of mines being diverted away to entities related to the other shareholder. So there are two mines that are relevant for this derivative application. In relation to one mine, the court says, tick, shareholder 1, you have successfully caused the company to sue shareholder 2 and prove that shareholder 2 breached their duties, and so shareholder 2 has to repay that money back to the company. In relation to the second mine, the court says cross, shareholder 1, you have failed to prove that the revenue from that second mine that went to shareholder 2's friendly entities was improperly paid, because shareholder 2 came by that opportunity for the second mine in a manner unrelated to the mining company at the heart of the dispute. So shareholder 1 stands in the shoes of the company, sues shareholder 2, wins for one bit, loses for the other bit. Okay. What happens next is that shareholder 1 decides they want to appeal, and shareholder 2 decides that they want to appeal. And in fact, shareholder 1's appeal is technically a cross appeal. And so the matter comes before the court. And the way it comes before the court that we're going to discuss today is actually the liquidators seeking advice pursuant to S90-15 of the relevant insolvency practitioners rules, which is a really similar mechanism to Section 63 of the Trustee Act judicial advice that we sometimes speak to. And is in essence, in proceedings like this, the liquidators or parties in a similar position will come before the court and ask yes/no questions. Would we be justified in doing X? And the liquidators in this case come before the court and ask a few questions. And some of them are, question 1, for want of a better number to start with, would we, the liquidators, be justified in defending shareholder 2's appeal? Would we be justified in incurring the legal costs and all the associated drama with defending that appeal? The second question that the liquidators seek the court's advice on is, would we be justified in not opposing shareholder 1's cross appeal? So do you remember how shareholder 1 claimed for two mines? Well, they are cross appealing in order to press the point in relation to that second mine. And then another question that liquidators come before the court, that we might just call question 3 for the sake of today's discussion, is would we as liquidators be justified in instructing the same lawyers that shareholder 1 used in relation to shareholder 1's original derivative claim? And so the court has to turn its mind to these issues, turn its mind to the case, and give its advice. In relation to would it be justifiable, or would the liquidators be justified in resisting the appeal? In short, the court advises yes. It'd be in the company's best interests, and it would be consistent with the liquidators' obligations for them to appropriately resist the orders that are sought by shareholder 2 in that appeal, because if shareholder 2 succeeds, of course the company will have less money, and there'll be less money for the liquidators to deal with in the liquidation, fewer funds to distribute in a solvent liquidation. So question 1 is a yes, I think that's the way we framed it. The liquidators would be justified in resisting the appeal. Regarding question 2, would the liquidators be justified in not opposing shareholder 1's cross appeal? Well, the court had to consider the relevant scenario. Of course, shareholder 1's cross appeal was again a derivative cross appeal. It's an application for shareholder 1 to stand in the shoes of the company. And because the company's in liquidation, the Corporations Act can't help shareholder 1. Shareholder 1 can only stand in the company's shoes pursuant to the inherent jurisdiction of the court. But in any case, the court considered, well, shareholder 1 has agreed to indemnify the company for any ugly adverse costs orders that might happen against the company. If shareholder 1 succeeds, the company is going to get some more money. So shareholder 1's claim will either involve the company getting more money or will involve shareholder 1 having to go make some payments. And so the court said, yes, the liquidators would be justified in not opposing shareholder 1 and just saying, shareholder 1, you go get on with that claim. In relation to the third question, which you might remember was about the liquidators wondering whether they would be justified in instructing the previous firm of lawyers that shareholder 1 had instructed to help with defending shareholder 2's appeal, the court said yes, the liquidators would be justified in instructing those same lawyers again and sort of worked through the mechanics. So the liquidators' existing lawyers would remain involved, but the previous lawyers that shareholder 1 engaged would also be engaged by the liquidators to provide some case-specific assistance. And so what we have is the liquidators coming to the court for advice, getting it, and we can only assume marching on following those bits of advice from the court. I hope that chat assisted you, and I look forward to joining you again soon for another coffee and another case note. Cheers.